Hi, my name is Erica Olson with On Strategy. Thanks for tuning in to our whiteboard series on how to pick an app to manage OKRs. It's part of our simplified approach to OKR series. If you haven't checked out the other whiteboard videos, make sure to do so. So really, OKRs need to be enabled with an app, but it's much more than that. So think about picking an app to manage your strategic performance. That's actually really what we're talking about, much more robustly than just managing OKRs. Let's talk about that. So here is a typical strategic performance cycle. And we believe over at On Strategy that applications support a process. And as you know, we have the On Strategy app, so we're a little bit biased. But by default, strategic performance processes create a ton of data, and an app really helps enable that. Let's talk it through. So a typical quarter to manage strategic performance involves individuals, it involves managers, it involves CEOs, and it involves boards. So any great application addresses all of those needs, all of those audience needs in one set of functionality. So let's walk it through. Here's a process. So of course we set our annual OKRs that we refresh quarterly, of course. And we go into month 1, 2, and 3 asking for reporting. The people that have to report are normally individuals, and then also CEOs would like to see some automation of what's going on. Ideal state is that Monday morning email on performance is magic. So reporting on every month at minimum, automated where possible. And there is always a lot of self-reported data. So a great application makes self-reporting easy and fast. Moving from there, we of course review our performance in one-on-ones. A great application has a one-click for your one-on-ones that your managers are running. And then of course, reviewing that performance in team meetings. Again, it needs to be one click. It can't be PowerPoint, heavy. That would be death. So again, that's where you see your CEO connecting in. We roll that up to a quarterly refresh where we're presenting our data to the CEO and other managers, and you need to have an easy way to do that. In the On Strategy application, we built a quarterly refresh dashboard that's really focused on the strategic performance of an organization, specifically against a quarter by all of these different user levels. And then from there, we want to communicate the performance to the board and to staff. Again, we want one click, low touch, send it out via email or directly to a live link that gets everybody access to the performance of the organization. And we repeat that again for each quarter. Of course, we are quickly updating our OKRs quarterly if that's what's necessary, again, flowing into our future state. So what we want to say with all of this is just to be really clear about the fact that a great application supports the process for all of these activities for each of these layers in the organization. So here are a couple of criteria that we want to walk through. You need an application when there are at least 10 or more people that are part of the process. You are a committed CEO, or if you're helping your CEO, that your CEO is committed to this process. And that of course brings us to the next one, that you're committed to a process, not just reporting. You need an app when you need better visibility across the organization. Everybody working remotely right now, this is just, it just has to be. And then of course, if you need board reporting and great board reporting, that's another criteria for needing an application. So there are a lot of great OKR applications on the market. Let's talk about a couple of them. So Smartsheets and Asana, everybody knows, they do all kinds of things, financial reporting, tasks lists. They're not going to do specific OKR and strategic performance management, and they're certainly not going to support this process. Our application, the On Strategy application, we're partial to, of course. What we specialize in is individual to manager to CEO to board strategic performance and that whole process that we talked about. We're very passionate about great looking reports because we believe that strategic performance and strategic planning is about producing information that we can use and digest and that everybody can be part of. Other applications, Workboard, enterprise level app, large, great, really for really large organizations. Ally, Purdue, 15-5 very much take the approach from the individual. They don't totally scale up all the way to the overall strategic performance. And just last but not least, there are a couple of things that are absolutely just part of every single application that are just table stakes, we would say. That you can track OKRs, that there's mobile, that there's APIs, that there's notifications. Those are just basics for any OKR application. What's not a basic is just really thinking about process enablement, which is much more than just a set of functionality. So with that, hopefully that's helpful for you when you're thinking about navigating the landscape of applications to manage your strategic performance. With that, thanks for tuning in. Check out our social channels. Happy strategizing.